Welcome to all of you. I'm Mr. P. Anodyan, lecturer, Department of Accounting, University of Jaffna. Today, I want to discuss practice question partnership tax calculation. Which question already uploaded into a LMS. I hope that you did the calculation for this practice question. Today, we can discuss how to uh, calculate partnership tax calculation for this practice question. Here I have included one question. The partners are Mr. A. Anuvaran and the ABC Private Limited Private Company are partners of the partnership. Profit or loss sharing is 1:2 between partners. Mr. A. Anuvaran and the ABC Private Company respectively. Partnership reduced 8% withholding tax from the partnership income and paid to the Department of Inland Revenue. The profit and loss account of the partnership for the year ended 31st March 2019 is given below. So in this question, you can take the summary. There are two partners in this partnership, Mr. A. Anuvaran and ABC Private Company. They are sharing profit and loss uh, between the partners 1:2. Then 2018-19 year of assessment profit and loss account given in this question. Further, you can see that notes also provided in this question. There are a few notes for this question. After that, our requirement is calculate each partner's tax payable or refundable for the year of assessment 2018-19. So this is our question. So basic idea should be needed before going to start the calculation. The first you have to think about, if you take the partnership tax calculation, partnership tax should be paid by the partners. They have to share according to their profit sharing ratio. First, for the partnership tax calculation, we should calculate the partnership assessable business income. Then we need to calculate investment income. If there is any investment income, we have to calculate the assessable income from the investment. Then both investments should be added. After that, we need to charge 8% withholding tax on that partnership income. That should be paid by the partnership. Then the partners can claim that paid amount as a tax credit from their personal or corporate income tax calculation. So here I want to start with partnership assessable business income calculation. So we already discussed when we calculated assessable business income for the sole proprietor, we should start assessable business income calculation with a specific format. I already included in the handout also. Here you can see that there are 4 columns. The first one particulars, then minus column, plus column, after that amount. Here in this question you can see that profit for the year of the part of that partnership 1,427,500. So that should be taken very firstly. Accounting profit I have included in the amount column. You can see that 1,427,500. Then I already stated that if you want to start the calculation, it is very easy to start from notes. So I would like to start from notes. The first note of this question, You can see that staff salaries include Mr. A. Anwaran's wife salary, LKR 240,000. She is working as accountant in the partnership. If we take relative salaries in the partnership tax calculation, such relative salary can be allowed as a allowable expenses. But in case of sole proprietor, any relative salaries cannot be allowed. But in case of partnership tax, any relative salaries can be allowed. So this Anwaran's wife salary can be allowed, that already deducted in the financial accounting. So we don't need to do any adjustment for this 240,000. That's why you can see that in the calculation, Anwaran's wife salary allowed, but you can't deduct because you already deducted in the financial accounting profit calculation. So that is right for the taxation. For that purpose, you don't need to do any adjustment, right? That's why I included in the minus column dash. That means we already deducted. Then we can move with note number 2. 1/3 of the building is given on rent to another party for rent. The partnership has given one building, 1/3 of building to the another party for the rent. So you need to consider any related expenses with the building. Here you can see that partnership paid rates for the building. So rates on building which is 90,000. So from this 90,000, if you take the 100% of the building used for the partnership purpose, that 90,000 can be allowed as a expenses when we calculate the assessable business income from the partnership. However, 1/3 of that building given to the rent. So this 90,000 cannot be allowed. 1/3 of rates cannot be allowed. Due to that, 1/3 of rates mean 90,000 into 1/3, which is 30,000. So here you can see that 1/3 of building rates disallowed. That's why 30,000 added with accounting profit. You can understand if partnership used 100% building, then 90,000 can be allowed. In this case, you can understand 1/3 of building given to the rent. So 1/3 of rates cannot be allowed. That's why I added 30,000 with the accounting profit, because that 30,000 is a disallowed expenses in the partnership assessable business income calculation. Then next note, it is related with advertising cost. Advertising cost includes LKR 25,000 paid for staff vacancy. From the year of assessment 2018-19, advertisement cost 100% allowed in the business income calculation. Due to that, you can see that advertising cost 100% allowed. That means you already deducted when you calculate the financial accounting profit. So in the financial accounting and taxation, both are same application. There is no different treatment. So that 100% allowed in the financial accounting profit calculation, that can be accepted for the taxation. That's why the minus column there is no amount. That means dash. That means you already deducted. So in the minus column, I included only dash. Then next note, which is related with the computers. Depreciation has charged on computers which were purchased in June 1st, 2015 for LKR 800,000. In this case, you can understand this computer purchase before the year of assessment 2018-19. So we have to use previous year of assessment capital allowance percentage for this computer, because from 2018-19 year of assessment we are having the new percentage for the capital allowance according to the Inland Revenue Act 2017. So here we have to use the previous year capital allowance percentage. First, we have to understand, we have to ensure that whether this asset is eligible for the capital allowance. 2015 purchase, that means 2015-16 first year of assessment, 2016-17 second year of assessment, 2017-18 third year of assessment, 2018-19 that means current year of assessment, that is a fourth year of assessment. According to the previous act, capital allowance can be given 25% for the computer. So 2018-19 is eligible to claim capital allowance for the computer. That's why I included in the calculation. You can see that capital allowance on computers at 25%, 800,000 into 25%, which is 200,000, that can be deducted from the accounting profit as capital allowance. Then next one is the next note number, which is related with motor car, was purchased in June 1st, 2017 for 1 million. According to Inland Revenue Act, capital allowance cannot be given, cannot be allowed for the motor car. So capital allowance is disallowed for motor car. So dash should be included in the minus column. Then note number next note number that is related with the new building. New office building has been constructed for LKR 500,000 during this year of assessment, and it is using for office use. So that newly constructed building, due to that we need to use the capital allowance percentage according to the new act. So according to 2017 act, it can be seen that capital allowance percentage for the building, which is 20 years, that means 5%. So 500,000 eligible for the capital allowance. Capital allowance on new building at 5%, 500,000 into 5%, which is 25,000, that can be deducted from the accounting profit. Next note, which is related with one audit claims payment has been written off as bad debt, and bad debt written off includes staff loan LKR 30,000. In this case, you should understand, any bad debts related with a staff loan or supplier loan, that cannot be allowed, because which are not related with the nature and the purpose of the business. That's why we can't allow. So that should be added with the accounting profit when we are going to calculate the tax of the assessable business income from the partnership. So you can see that in this calculation, you can see that in this calculation that staff loan written off disallowed. That's why I added 30,000 with the accounting profit. And, I hope that we completed all the notes. So we completed all the notes. Then after we can move with profit and loss account. The details of the profit and loss account, which is given already in the question. You can see that gross profit that is not needed for the calculation, because we already taken the accounting profit. So gross profit already included in the accounting profit calculation, so you don't need to consider gross profit. Then other income, under the other income, consultancy fees 720,000. Consultancy fee is one of the allowed income for the taxation, that is already added with the accounting profit. So in the financial accounting, same treatment will be done for the taxation. Due to that, you don't need to do any adjustment because that 720,000 already added with the accounting profit. Due to that, you don't need to add again when you calculate the assessable income from the business. That's why I did not include that consultancy fees in the assessable business income calculation. Then gross interest from serving 80,000. If you take gross interest from serving 80,000, which is not related with the nature and the purpose of the business. In the financial accounting, that can be accepted as a other income. You can see that in this question they already included in under the other income and they added with the accounting profit. That is right for the financial accounting. But in case of taxation, any investment income or any income which are not related with the nature and the purpose of the business, that income cannot be allowed. Due to that, this interest income should be removed from the accounting profit. That's why I included in the minus column. You can see that the minus column, gross interest from serving disallowed. That should be removed. That should be excluded from the accounting profit because that 80,000 already include in the accounting profit. You can see that that already available within this amount. In this amount. That's why we need to remove that 80,000 because which is not related with the nature and the purpose of the business. Then you can see that it's in the question dividend. Dividend also not related with the nature and the purpose of the business. So that should be removed from accounting profit. So I included in the minus column 45,000. Here you should understand you don't need to consider gross and net. In this point, we need to remember whether any income which are not related with the nature and the purpose of the business, that should be excluded from the accounting profit. Don't need to consider gross and net. That should be considered when we are having the investment income calculation. At that point, we need to consider whether it is gross or net. That should be considered when we are calculating the investment income. But here, just we need to consider whether it is related with the nature and the purpose of the business. If it is related with, that can be allowed. If it is not related with the nature and the purpose of the business, that cannot be allowed. So rent income also, that cannot be allowed because that is related with, that is not related with the nature and the purpose of the business. So that should be removed from the accounting profit. That's why I included in the minus column. You can see that. The other one is under the other income, which is interest on partners' drawings. Partners' drawings interest can be allowed because that is related with the nature and the purpose of the business. So any interest from the partners' drawing that can be allowed for the taxation, that can be allowed for the financial accounting. So you don't need to do any adjustment when you are going to calculate the assessable business income from the partnership because you already added that amount when you calculate the financial accounting profit. So up to now, I hope that we have completed notes and other income. I hope that you may have the better understanding with the explanation. Next, we can move with expenses. In this point, you have to remember if any expenses which are related with the nature and the purpose of the business that can be allowed for the taxation. Salaries to staff That can be allowed in the financial accounting as well as in the taxation. So you don't need to do any adjustment because of that 960,000 you already reduced from the profit. Again, you don't need to reduce the that 960,000 from the profit because you already deducted. That can be accepted for the taxation. So there's no, you don't need to do any adjustment. Rates on building, I already adjusted. The 1/3 of rates cannot be allowed. The 30,000 we already added with the accounting profit. Income tax paid, that cannot be allowed because we already discussed. Some taxes cannot be allowed. Income tax paid cannot be allowed under the assessable business income calculation. That's why I added that 35,000 with the accounting profit. Here you can see that I added that 35,000. Next one, construction of new office building. That's a cost of new office building. In accounting also, that is a wrong. Cost of building construction cannot be included as a expenses. However, in this question, they included as a expenses in the financial accounting. But in case of taxable assessable business income calculation of the partnership, it cannot be allowed. That means that 500,000 cannot be allowed because that is a capital expense. Any repair on the building, that can be allowed, but it is related with the capital, so that should be excluded. That's why I removed from the accounting profit. Construction of new office building disallowed, so that amount already deducted in the financial accounting, so which is not accurate in the taxation, which cannot be allowed. That's why that amount should be added with the accounting profit. Then you can see that depreciation. Any depreciation cannot be allowed. I already explained several times. Depreciation is one of the disallowed expenses. So depreciation on motor car disallowed. That 100,000 should be added with the accounting profit. That's why I included in the plus column. On computer, depreciation on computer, 160,000 should be added. That's why I included in the plus column. Depreciation on new building, that cannot be allowed. That's why I included in the plus column. Then telephone charges, that can be allowed for the financial accounting as well as for the taxation. So there's you don't need to do any adjustment because you already deducted in the financial accounting profit calculation. That that can be accepted for the taxation, so you don't need to do any adjustment. Cash donation to Cancer Society, any donation cannot be allowed. Cash donation or goods donation, any donation cannot be allowed in the assessable business income calculation. So that 30,000 should be added. That's why I included in the plus column. You can see that 30,000. Then electricity payment, that can be allowed for the taxation as well as financial accounting. You already deducted in the financial accounting, so you don't need to deduct in the assessable business income calculation because you already did that deduction. Then royalty paid, that is already deducted in the financial accounting. That can be accepted for the taxation. Due to that, you don't need to do any adjustment. Entertainment expenses, that can be allowed for the financial accounting, but which cannot be allowed for the taxation. So such entertainment expenses should be added with the accounting profit. That's why I included in the plus column. You can see that 60,000 I included in the plus column because which cannot be allowed when we calculate the assessable business income. Then advertisement cost, I already stated 100% allowed. Penalty cannot be allowed for the taxation, so that should be added with the accounting profit. Bad debt written off, I already said that staff loan written off cannot be allowed. Otherwise, other bad debts can be allowed. Other rate bad debts from the rate receivable that can be allowed. So only 30,000 cannot be allowed because which is related with staff loan written off. Payment for license can be allowed. Other expenses can be allowed in financial accounting and taxation. Non-refundable tender deposit cannot be allowed in the taxation. So that amount should be added with the accounting profit. If there is any refundable tender deposit, that can be allowed as expenses. When we are receiving again, that amount should be included as a income. So refundable tender deposit can be allowed. Any non-refundable tender deposit cannot be allowed. So in this question, they included non-refundable tender deposit. So that cannot be allowed for the taxation. So that 102,000 should be removed. Then there's a salary for partners. Partner salaries cannot be allowed. So there's a total partner salary which is 660,000. So partner salary cannot be allowed. So that should be added with the accounting profit. You can see that I included in the plus column and 660,000. Then final one, which is related with the interest on capital, partners capital interest. In this case, partners capital interest cannot be allowed for the taxation. So that should be added with the accounting profit. That's why I included in the plus column. You can see that I included in the plus column. Capital interest disallowed. So up to now we completed all the notes, then details of profit and loss account. I hope that we have completed all the adjustments. Now we need to calculate the tax. First, you have to calculate the total amount in the minus column. According to this calculation, total value of the minus column, which is 590,000, that 590,000 should be deducted from the plus column. After deduction of 590,000, there's a plus column remaining balance, which is 1,672,000. That 1,672,000 should be added with the accounting profit. We already included accounting profit from the question, which is 1,427,500 plus 1,672,000. The assessable income from partnership, which is 3,099,500. Then we can move with the calculation of tax. Calculation of each partner tax payable or refundable for the year of assessment 2018-19. Shall we move with tax calculation of each partner? Here you can see that business income of the partnership, which is 3,099,500 plus investment income of the partnership. That means I already said that under the other income, we already discussed interest income and rent income. Those interest and rent income we did not allow when we calculate assessable business income. we disallow. Now, under the investment income, interest income, then we need to consider whether it is gross. Yes, it is gross, so that can be included under the investment income. But in the case of dividend, which is net, so such net dividend cannot be included because that is final one. So you don't need to pay again tax on that dividend because you already paid tax. That's why you received the net amount. So gross interest should be included plus rent income, which is 240,000. You can deduct rates paid on that building. You already disallowed 30,000 as a disallowed rates when we calculated assessable business income, because in case of business income calculation, that is right, but such rates can be deducted from the rent income. So 240 minus 30 can be allowed for the taxation. So ultimately there's a 80,000 from interest, 210,000 from rent, altogether 290,000 investment income of the partnership. Now total partnership income, which is 3,389,500. So partnership, you already, I hope that you already know, partnership need to pay 8% withholding tax on their income. Here double GST on partnership income 3,389,500 into 8%, which is 271,160. That is a double GST on partnership income. Share of partnership double GST to Mr. A. Anuvaran and to ABC private company, it is 90,387 LKR. Then to the ABC private company, which is 180,773. 773. The total double GST 271,160. That should be divided by 3 and should be multiplied by 1 for the double GST liability of Mr. A. Anuvaran, because profit sharing ratio among the partners which is 1:2. So 1 should be allocated for Anuvaran, 2 should be allocated for the ABC private company. That's why we calculated 90,387 rupee for Mr. Anuvaran and 180,773 rupees for ABC private company. Then you can see that personal income tax of Mr. Anuvaran. In this question, you can see that within this bracket, you can see that assume that each partner does not have any other income during the year of assessment 2018-19. That means both partners, they are having income only from the partnership. They don't have any other income. That's why you can consider Mr. A. Anuvaran's personal income tax calculation. Income from partnership, which is 1,129,833. That means total partnership income should be divided by 3 and multiplied by 1, because 1 part should be allocated for Mr. A. Anuvaran. Other 2 parts should be allocated for the ABC private company. according to their profit and loss sharing ratio. So income from the partnership 1,129,833 rupees. From that, we need to reduce the basic relief, which is 500,000 according to the act. Individual can be deducted 500,000, so that 500,000 can be allowed. After that, taxable income, which is 629,833. So taxable income of Mr. A. Anuvaran, which is 629,833. Then gross income tax calculation, 600,000 into 4% according to the slabs of income tax calculation for individual. 600,000 into 4%, which is 24,000. The balance, there's a balance 29,833 into 8%, which is 2,387 rupees. So from that, you can deduct as a tax credit, because you already paid withholding tax for the partnership income. So WGST credit 1,129,833 into 8%, which is 90,387. That should be deducted from the gross income tax. So refundable amount, which is 64,000 for Mr. A. Anuvar. In case of tax payable calculation of ABC private company, here you can see that income from partnership, which is 2,259,667, because they are sharing 1:2 profit sharing. So 2 part should be allocated to ABC private company. So they are having income from the partnership, which is 2,259,667. So taxable income also 2,259,667, because there is no relief or tax-free allowance for company according to the act. So gross income tax payable, which is 2,259,667 into 28%. That percentage can be changed according to the types of company, because for the company income tax calculation, there are a number of percentage according to the types of company. So you should apply the appropriate percentage according to the types of company. So in this example, I applied 28%, because there is no details about the company. If we know the types of company, then we can apply the appropriate percentage for the company. So gross income tax payable, which is 632,707 rupees. From that, WGST credit 2,259,667 into 8%, which is 180,773 rupees. That can be deducted from the gross income tax. So finally, you can see that balance tax payable, which is 451,934 rupees. So up to now, we have completed assessable business income calculation from the partnership. Then we calculated total partnership income. After that, we calculated double GST on partnership income. Then after, we calculated the proportion of double GST among the partners. Then we calculated each partner's personal and corporate income tax. So we completed this question. The suggested answer. You can use this answer after your calculation. If you have any question or queries on this calculation, you can contact with me through the available resources. I hope that we have completed accessible business income calculation of sole proprietor. Then we have completed partnership tax calculation. Next, we have to discuss about company income tax calculation. In the future, I will upload handouts regarding company income tax calculation. After that, we will have the practice question. I will uh, I will write to have video explanation or video lectures on that practice question in the future. I hope that all the students you can understand very easily this first unit. If you have any problem, please contact with me. I'm ready to give my best for your understanding. Thank you very much to join with me. I hope that we will meet very soon with a video lecture. Thank you very much.